everyone, and welcome on today's exciting episode. You're on air with Claire, and I have my friends joining me here today. If you don't mind, would you introduce yourselves?
Hi everyone, my name is Iberi.
Hi, I'm Rukewe.
And today we're going to be discussing on peer pressure. Now, peer pressure is something that really affects a lot of teenagers outside. And even us teenagers, we have a lot to say on that. This is something that when you're being affected by your mates in order to do something just to impress people, you're being influenced in different ways and in different areas. So I feel like my friends and I will have a lot to share on that. Ebere, what do you feel about peer pressure?
I think it's inevitable because you always experience it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is that you're not going to know when it's going to happen. And when it's even happening, you're not aware because it's not something that comes in a blinding light that's telling you this is peer pressure.
Yeah.
It happens quietly, happens discreetly.
Yeah.
So that's what I really feel about it.
Okay, do you feel pressured at times?
Well, I feel it, but once I notice it, I try to reverse the effects.
Yeah. What kind of pressure do you feel?
Normal pressure. The one of friend pressure, depends on music, stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Ruker?
Now, about peer pressure. Peer pressure is divided into positive and negative.
Yeah.
But when you talk about peer pressure in general, most people's minds goes to the negative aspect. When I say I'm being influenced by peer pressure, everyone like, okay, I've joined bad gang, I've joined this, I've started doing bad things, have you? But for me, what I feel people should understand is that peer pressure goes in both ways. Though at these present times, the peer pressure that we youths mostly experience is mostly negative, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Negative. Either from the internet, from our friend groups, peer pressure is negative. And this positive peer pressure now, there are hardly people who give off this type because the people that are meant to do it are influenced themselves by negative peer pressure, so they somehow lose their positive values, if you grab what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then peer pressure, everyone, like most youth, we don't even know at this point, many of us don't even know we are being influenced by peer pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe in our sense of dressing, the way we talk, the music we even listen to. Because I remember at the point, this music was very popular in school. That's UK drills. But it's not everybody that liked it though. When they start singing, everybody start doing hey, hey, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everybody just because of peer pressure. So peer pressure is something that as of now most people they don't seem to realize it until it's too late.
Yeah.
Especially the negative peer pressure. They don't realize it until things have gone extremely wrong.
Okay, do you feel pressured at some point?
No, I feel pressured, yes. When we're in school, in that school community, in hostel,
Yeah.
boarding life, there were a lot of different pressures.
Well, school is it's enough to pressure someone. So what do you, when you feel pressured, do you do like this illegal stuff, like something you talked about?
Sometimes, yes, sometimes. Most of the time, but yeah, sometimes they'll be like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Then you just go with the flow, I mean. If you can't beat them, join them. What's the worst that can happen?
Yes.
That's the
Exactly.
position of us here.
What about you, Iber? Do you feel pressured from the society and school?
Yes, I feel pressured. I get different forms of pressure.
Yeah.
So the main thing is that the way I overcome such pressure is that what I fall back to what I already know, what I've already been brought up on, what I've been already experienced such. First, I know the consequences,
Yeah.
and I already know what I want for myself. So it's really like a guideline. Your principles are already a guideline to how much pressure you can fall for. But there are some that I actually fall for. Some of, like he said, music, stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, in my own home, I'll always be who I want to be.
Yeah.
So there's a
Well, when it comes to music, I feel a lot of pressure. This pressure of people judging me when I'm listening to the kind of music I like. Like when I just bring up probably a song by Chris Brown, and then everybody's like, no jare, Mayokun, Abi, Fuse or Davido. And then I'm jamming to something nice that I feel is nice. And then somebody is telling me, guy, have you heard electricity? And I'm like, what is electricity? I beg, please. And then, people but I just feel like people just have different opinions. But at the same time, they try to influence theirs on others, which is not kind of nice. So, Ebere, can you the type of pressure you feel from your friends at school? In what way is it? Is it positive or is it negative?
Well, I experienced both.
Okay.
In the positive sense, I'm surrounded by, let's say my group of friends were quite smart. So I'm surrounded by smart girls.
Yeah.
So I get pushed academically to, want to stay in that same
Yes.
range, you understand?
High IQ.
High IQ, yes.
Yeah.
One of my closest friends, she was the valedictorian of our set.
Yeah.
And that kind of motivation to just be, to feel that you are worthy of being in their presence. Not really worthy, but really of being.
Like
Of
when
being,
they are bragging, I can brag.
Yes.
That I'm not just being their friend because of their extra link. You
Yeah.
understand? I have something to contribute also.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was really influenced positively. I really feel that my friend group amounted quite much to my academic motivation.
Yeah.
There was also self-motivation anyways. But negatively, well, at this stage in my life, you want to try a lot of things. You want to try alcohol, you want to try
Yes.
smoking, all this stuff. I never really saw the appeal, but I have people that always want to say that they're like, well, why you not? We should bring alcohol. Why you not shark? Is it shark?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to shock.
So I don't really see the appeal because I've already tasted alcohol, but it was from my parents.
Yeah.
So I think it also falls back to what you're exposed to. If you're already exposed to such things, you will not really feel that thrill of wanting to try it. And
Yeah.
I felt it was good that I already experienced those things. I also saw how other people felt to it, even in the way you speak. Who want to speak stand slangs?
Yeah.
They turn them 500 to 5H or something like that.
Yeah.
And no slangs now. And no, if you're speaking normal like a normal
Yes.
Is it normal? No,
you're
it's
speaking
normal.
like a normal human being, you will not say 5H.
He said 500.
Some people that
No,
already
that
say
5 is here.
5H.
Yeah.
You say 5, you're saving time, you're saving everything.
What time?
You're saving time.
Like when they say 5,000, it's 5K.
500 naira.
I never
Like I
said
say
It
5
has now become something when I'm like, I want to go and then I'm like, I want to dip. Like, I don't know. And I'm like,
Okay, I'll manage 5K. What is not figo?
What's figure?
Exactly.
It's not your slang.
It's not my slang. It's like saying what you get. People start speaking the language like as if, and when it comes to, like I don't have any problem,
yeah.
but you should learn how to separate yourself from what you want other people to see and what you are. You should not become meshed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I really feel about the whole influence.
Well, me, I am being influenced negatively and positively, but mostly I would be very honest to say negatively, because I got to discover that I wasn't really a person who was interested in frivolities. So at some point, I started showing interest in frivolities, as my mom would call it, and I knew that this wasn't me. So little by little, I started trying as much as possible to withdraw myself. Although it was tough, because it was like the more I was trying, the more things were adding, more pressure was coming in. But without that, regardless of that, I just want to ask you guys a few questions. What will you advise to teenagers on peer pressure? What will you say to teenagers who are pressured or who are being affected by peer pressure?
Well, I would say if it's making you a better person, you can how do I say it? You can indulge in it,
Yeah.
but you should just watch it. Just first ground yourself in who you are and who you want to be.
Yeah.
And if what people are bringing to you does not align with those principles you set up for yourself, just take a step back, and because it's not always easy to live such environments, so just try and distance yourself. Even if you can't distance yourself physically, you distance yourself mentally, emotionally. Don't let their habits rub off on you.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, yes.
What about you, Nuka?
So my advice: if you see yourself changing from someone you used to be because of a certain group of people,
Yeah.
and that change is not what you like. If you see yourself changing into someone different, someone you know you are not,
Yeah.
and that change is not for the better, try as much as possible to leave that friend group, because you now notice that their pressure is negative, and you wouldn't want anything, like you don't want anything to do with someone who gives you this negative peer pressure, because it also affects you in the longer run now. So my advice: just end the friendship, create a new friend group, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
Like, just learn how to differentiate basically between positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure, and honestly to help a lot.
Well, I'm going to leave you guys with just 2 words. A step back, eyes on the goal. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, and you can also share your opinions down on the comment section. I love you. Thank you.